set up for better playoff success as opposed to teams who are being carried by maybe one or two legit superstars. What do you think, Ryan?
I think it's kind of the way to go. And, you look at the Florida Panthers, you look at the Vegas Golden Knights, you look at Tampa Bay, you look at St. Louis, which was kind of an outlier Stanley Cup champion because a lot of things went right for them as a group. They didn't have like a superstar at all.
Yeah.
But you do need to have that depth because when you get into a deep playoff run, you're going to have injuries, whether the guy plays through them or not. We've seen that with Leon Draisaitl in the past where it's like, how is this guy still on the ice? And he was contributing, but maybe not 100%. The Oilers, for their part, they did make it to the Stanley Cup final last year. They did push the Panthers to 7 games, but ultimately it was Florida that won. And I just feel like when you have all that depth spread throughout your lineup, if someone goes cold, if someone gets suspended, if somebody gets hurt, it's not the end of the world because you have that sort of next man up mentality.
Yeah. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, I would argue that, the Dallas Stars have both, and they've got tremendous depth all through all 4 lines, and they do have game breakers. It's just they're not playing like game breakers right now. Like Jason Robertson is not having a Jason Robertson-like season. This is a 2-time 40-goal scorer who's on pace for something like 20 goals this year. Playoffs come around, that could completely change, and Jason Robertson can go back to just lighting the lamp. And same thing with they've got a lot of young guys that, come playoff time, maybe a Logan Stankoven does what he did last playoffs, or maybe a Maverick Bourque just completely, emerges because you look at what he did at the minors and, he's got that potential. Same thing with an Oscar Back. So they do have game breakers. It's just they're not necessarily leaning on these guys right now. And, Dallas, their bread and butter is still going to be their goaltending and their defensive play.